Today's topic, rumination. What is that? For me, this was one of the most fascinating things to realize, how I'm making my own anger grow with my own thoughts, and I had no idea that I was doing this. And I know I've said these two exact same stories in some of my earlier videos, but they're so pivotal. I have to retell them. This goes back to my ex-girlfriend. If you have seen my other videos, you know this is important. This is why I'm in this car talking about this. How did this story play out? What is rumination? Let me start there. What is rumination? This is to, in the case of anger, specifically for me, rumination is having a thought that's angry, having something happen to you, and it makes you upset. And then you're watering this plant. You're watering this thought without recognizing it, without realizing it, and it's growing. All it takes is a little bit of water, and instantaneously this plant is going to grow. What does that do? Your anger builds. And since you're already angry, the anger has nothing, until you cut it off, the anger has nothing to do but to keep growing. So you water it, and it grows, and you water it, and it grows, and you water it, and it grows. In 1 minute, you're going to be fuming. You're going to be Looney Tunes, steam coming out of your ears because you're so angry. But why? All you did was create fake stories in your head. That's all I did. Let me give you the exact breakdown of how this happened. I was in the dish room. You know me. You know what I do. I'm in the dish room. I'm doing my thing. The exact specific thought that initiated this, I have no idea. Let's say I thought about, maybe it was this exact event. I don't know. But with this girlfriend, there were a few times where I'd be talking, I'd be speaking my mind, and she would interrupt me. And like a normal human being, that would make me a little bit upset, a little frustrated. My point not being heard, a little cut off in the middle of my sentence. I think we've all been there. And I was in this dish room, and I was thinking about that. Oh, I know sometimes she does that. It makes me upset. I don't appreciate it. Boom, here comes rumination. What does that mean? I'm creating a scenario where I'm talking to my girlfriend, and she interrupts me. And I'm creating a scenario where I'm going to respond to said interruption. I'm going to cut off her interruption, and I'm going to be like, oh, you always interrupt me. I'm so tired of this. Why do you always do this? Just let me speak my mind, blah, 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 blah. And it's making me angry. Because to be so frank with you, I'm so upset about being interrupted. It kind of irked me a little bit. I kind of want to get her back, for lack of a better term. Oh, well, now that I'm upset, now I'm thinking about other things. I remember that one time 2 months ago where she did this and it made you feel like this. Oh, I do remember that. That really made me upset. Oh, now I'm adding water to my plant even more. Oh, remember that time 3 years ago in high school where somebody said this to you and it made you upset? Oh, I do remember that. Oh, that's really making me upset. See how easily this just grew? How the slightest amount of water can water this plant and it can grow instantly. This is why rumination is so detrimental in any aspect of life. But specifically for me, for anger, this is why it's detrimental. Did you see how in the matter of under 2 minutes, we went from my ex-girlfriend, she interrupts me sometimes, to I am furious about this bully that I had 3 years ago that said this to me and I can't get him back. Do we see how crazy this is, my brother? Do you see why rumination is so bad? Because I used to do this and I didn't recognize it. I would go in this dish room one person and come out another because I was so angry. I didn't recognize what rumination was. I didn't recognize what I was doing. I wasn't self-aware. Everything goes back down to being self-aware. I could talk about a million things about anger. It all boils down to self-awareness. Because if you're not self-aware that you're ruminating, how is it going to change? Billy isn't going to change it for you. Bob isn't going to change it for you. You got to change. And you can do it. I talk all the time about being self-aware. I don't know if I preach enough about how to do it. And I think I do, and I think I say the exact same thing over and over again. And to be frank with you guys, after this relationship, I recognized that my anger was a pattern. I would always be passive-aggressive. I would always have crazy condescending tone. And I recognize this pattern. Okay, every single time that I get angry, I do this. I say this. Why am I doing that? Single-handedly recognizing that my anger wasn't sporadic. It wasn't weird. I wasn't different. I'm not quirky. I'm not unique. It was a pattern. Pattern interrupt. Interrupt that pattern. That does not make any sense, but what I'm getting at is it's the same behavior over and over. That must mean there's a root. I just gotta cut off the root. I'm sorry guys, my nose is itchy. Forgive me. You gotta cut off the root. I don't know where I was going with that. We're talking about rumination. I'm talking about self-awareness. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be self-aware that you're ruminating. And how do you do that? I don't encourage you to get angry. But the next time you get angry, before I go there, let me tell you the story. I told this story in my last video because it was so pivotal. I'm sorry. It was so pivotal for me. I'm in the dish room. I'm doing my thing. Me and homeboy, we in there. We messing it up in there. We having a good time. I'm over there doing the dishes. He's over there stacking them. He's putting them away. We having a good, jolly time, right? And this is probably, I don't want to say that, 6, 8 o'clock. Sometime moderately busy. And I'm in the dish room, so I don't really know what's going out there. My only verdict for how busy it is out there is, one, when I glance, how many pieces of paper do I see hanging from the grill with the tickets? And 2, is there a manager on the grill? Because if there's a manager on the grill, then they're probably having a good old time on there. I'm kidding. We were probably busy. Homeboy was stressing. Homeboy was angry. Maybe one of the fellow girl cooks, he was going a bit slow. He was messing up. Maybe people are sending food back. It's not good enough. Regardless of why it happened, homie is upset. Homie is not at his peak. Homie is upset, comes to us and asks us something that he wants from us. What I don't want to say normal because that's not right. What a regulated person would do is, hey guys, I know last week, the next day, we didn't really have this ready, so I'd appreciate if you guys can do that. Oh yeah, boss, I got you. That's no biggie. I got you. But instead, he was angry. So instead of saying what a regulated person would say, he did what I used to do. Oh, we're gonna make sure we get that done, right? Like, bro, what do we do? Bro, my mood is killed, man. Why'd we do that? And that's not exactly what he said, but the way he told me to do something, it was blown out of proportion. But you know what I knew? I knew that he was upset over something, and the exact way that he was feeling, he was projecting it onto us without knowing. He was just angry, and then he was communicating that point in his mind. I was able to recognize that. But regardless of that, regardless of knowing that, it still ruined my mood. Because I knew in my mind, bro could have said that in a better way. That whole story just for this. Here's what I'm getting at. It made me upset, so I was thinking about it. Like, bro did not have to say it like that. Bro, that was unnecessary. Like, what is this man doing? Bro does not have the emotional maturity like I do. Bro is not him. And I was getting angry over this. But you know what the best part is? I started to ruminate. I in real time, I was thinking about what bro said and how it made me upset. And then I recognized I caught myself. I started to think, oh, when I go home later, I have to do this. Or when I go home later, I have to go home to this. And I recognized that this initial situation of bro being angry at me was completely different than this new situation I was linking them to. I was watering the plant with the situation at home, with the situation that just happened. I ruminated. In my own words, I'm emotionally mature and I ruminate. I still do this. It's being able to catch it is what the thing is. I say this is so pivotal because I didn't think that I could still do this. I didn't think that I still ruminate. But recognizing, I cannot stress the importance of this enough. Recognizing in real time, I was angry over one. If you're going to listen to any part of this video, make it be this video. I was recognizing in real time that event A made me upset. And since I was thinking about event A making me upset, I thought about event B. And event B was my water. And I was watering it with event A. So this anger was growing. And as soon as I recognized that, my anger dissipates because I was so infatuated with, oh my gosh, I just caught that. I just caught myself ruminating. I caught myself fueling this fire to a completely different situation. That's what ruminating, in my opinion. I don't know if that's the Oxford Dictionary or the whatever official definition, but that's my definition of rumination. Taking an event that makes you upset and adding to it, or adding a different event to it and growing it, because it will grow your fire, and you don't want to grow your fire. You gotta put sand on that fire. You gotta put that out, my guy. What am I getting at? Rumination, I say single-handedly like such a loose term, so I don't want to say it, but rumination was so important for me to recognize that I was doing, because this is the single event out of so many that I recognized. The girlfriend interrupting situation, that was the single event that I recognized. Forgive me. I recognized that was ruminating later. I recognized that building these thoughts from one event, I recognized I was rumination later. I don't know why that specific account of interrupting and then me saying this is what sticks with me, but I know I did that so many times. And to think that I grew my anger, from lack of a better term, from nothing, is so detrimental. It's so detrimental. Because I promise you, I don't know what you're doing, if you ruminate or what, but being self-aware of rumination is so important. It's so important. It's okay to be angry. If you're angry at event A, by the gods, be angry at event A. Just don't react in an inappropriate way. Be angry at event A. Don't completely get rid of that anger. Don't associate anger with a negative thing and say, oh, anger is a bad feeling, a bad emotion. I don't want to feel anger. Let me get rid of it. Let me numb this pain. Don't do that. That's unhealthy. We don't do that here. I didn't want to make a cut in this video, but I remembered what I was going to say now, so I'm going to start again. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to ruminate, but make sure you only stay angry about event A. Be as angry as you want with event A in your thoughts, in your mind. Don't express it to other people. Don't. You can be angry. You can scream in the freezer. Don't scream in the middle where everybody's at. It's okay to be angry about event A. Rumination starts as soon as you grow event A past what it is on the surface, past what it is base level, and when you start to add event B to event A, and then it grows that fire. Does this make sense? Because this is what rumination was for me. It was starting at point A and then growing it. Now I recognize I was growing it, just being, oh, anger, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't recognize it was growing. I used to do this all the time, and I didn't recognize it. So this is why I'm making this video, because I want to help out somebody else. The biggest tip that I can give you is to separate the two events. Let me make an example. I want to come up with an example. Let me just come up with my example. Your girlfriend is going to interrupt you. That makes you upset. Okay, that's good. It's okay to feel that anger. I'd encourage you to feel that anger. Where does it come from? Why do you feel that way? But it becomes a problem when you start to fabricate a story about anger. When you start to imagine you interrupting her back, you saying this back, because that's fake. There's the truth, and then there's the lies. The lies are what you're telling yourself about this situation that's growing it. You have to keep it true. Okay, she interrupts me. I don't like that. That's great. It becomes a problem when you add to that. It also becomes a problem when you're angry about this event and you get angry about this event, and then they merge and now you're super angry. I hope this all makes sense to you guys. I know it's been a minute since I made one of these videos. To be 1,000,000% transparent with you guys, I didn't really get any feedback. Obviously, people are watching the videos, but I recently got a direct DM saying, yo, I love these videos, like they actually help me. And now I'm being a lot more firm about this, because there's probably a lot of other people who have seen these videos who haven't DM'd me. I know I should not make these videos based off of what other people think about them or what other people don't think about them, but being so honest, I quite frankly did not think people would enjoy them until I had somebody tell me that. So right now I'm gonna double down and absolutely make videos, because I know there's people out there that need to hear them. I hope that this video was articulate. I hope that this helps somebody. I hope it makes sense. I know I kind of repeated the same points over and over again, but I digress. Hopefully it worked out. Hopefully this helps you guys. If there's any video, any part of anger that you struggle with, let me know in the comments. I would love to try to make a video about it. I'm here to help you guys. If you have questions about anger, if you have anything for me, let me know. Let me know on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all 3 platforms. That's what I'm on. I think that's everything. I love you. I love y'all boys. How do I mess up the outro? I love y'all boys. Y'all take care.